everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, and I hope you're doing well. So I'm gonna answer a reader question today, or a viewer question today, and thank you for doing these, by the way. Just, if you have anything that I haven't covered yet, go ahead and shoot me a video and I'd be happy to answer them. I'll just put in the queue and then we'll get going on it. So this was actually sent pretty recently, probably in the last week. It's by a gentleman, I assume it's a gentleman, named Tom Miralus. And his question: hey Ryan, I enjoy your videos. Have you done a video on older students getting into Jiu-Jitsu for the first time? I'm 50 and I have just recently returned to Jiu-Jitsu after a year off. I have 5 years of experience training on and off, mainly off, but plan to stick with this type, thanks. So his question wasn't really for him per se. He's 50, but he's been training on and off for 5 years and he's been off for a year or so and is getting back in. So I'm 50 as well. And I guess I have to look at things from the perspective of my students and people who come in, because I didn't start at 50. I started at 21. So I started young, you know, one of those young guns, just want to fight, and that's what I got into. So, but let's say you're now a professional. You've got a family, right? You've got a wife and kids, and you got a job that you need to head to tomorrow, and you're looking for a place to train. Here's what you need to do. You need to really screen the place that you train. And when I say screen, I mean really look around. Now, of course, if you get that vibe right away that it's a good place, then you might just want to jump on it. However, and the reason why is because if you find a place that's good from the get-go, just go with it, because if you keep looking around, you're gonna come through schools that are not good, and you're gonna find out the hard way sometimes that it's not good. So as an example, every school has a certain demographic. They cater to a certain type of student. Now, sometimes that is because of the instructor and what he attracts, because you tend to attract like personalities and like people, right? Think of your 5 friends, your 5 best friends. What do they say? Your 5 best friends, if you're rich, chances are you're rich too. If of your 5 best friends, they're all poor, chances are you're poor too. And if you have your 5 best friends all professionals, they'll be professionals as well. If they do jiu-jitsu, chances are you'll do jiu-jitsu as well. So you can kind of get the vibe of what I'm talking about. So what you want to do is you want to find a school where the instructor and the people that you come across are just like you. So let's say you do a free class, free trial for a week, or whatever you want to do. Right now we're offering free weeks, for instance, but typically we only do a free class. Let's say you go in and you try the classes out. Just talk to everybody. Don't be shy. Don't be the guy who doesn't say anything to anyone. When you're training with somebody, if you're partnered up with somebody, you're drilling something, go through the drills, you know, and ask the guy that you're partnered up with. You know, if you don't already know his name, I assume you already know his name by then. What do you do, right? I'm a pharmacist. Okay, yeah, by the way, we have 4 of them. We have pharmacists, we have 4 pharmacists, we have 3 physicians in one campus. In the other campus, I think we have 4 physicians. That tends to be, and we've got real estate agents, and like I said, professional types. That seems to be our demographic. How? It just kind of happened that way. If the people that you train, let's say that partner that you're training with for that particular drill is of a similar demographic to you, right? You're 50 years old. Let's say you're a construction worker and, you know, somebody who works with their hands, and your partner is somebody who also works with his hands. Let's say he's in another trade, plumber, electrician, whatever. You know, then you have, I guess, a common vibe as far as demographics, right? On the other hand, if you're a tradesman, right, you run a plumbing business and your partner is a physician. Well, you know, you are an entrepreneur. You do run the business, you know, and you might have a lot more in common with a physician than you would one of your workers. But let's say you're one of the workers, right? That's fine. But here's the thing. When you're training with people, you're dealing with people's, not necessarily life and death, although, you know, choking somebody out, it can get to that, but not really. Might pass out, but that's really about it. But when you're locking up somebody's arm, right, you're locking up somebody's leg, you know, you have their joint a millimeter away from injury. If you have common things to talk about with someone, then it might be a little easier to get along with them and develop that rapport, because that's really important. So let's say you're a 50-year-old, you're coming to a school where almost everybody is under the age of 30. Demographically speaking, that doesn't really match with you. You're more likely, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you're more likely to come home feeling like you got run over by trucks because they train harder, they train faster. And that's not to say that a professional type school will not have students like that. If it's big enough, they will. They'll have a mix. But the average student is what you're looking at. Let's say with our school, the average student is a professional. With another school, the average student might be single and no family yet. First, find a school that matches your demographic, because that's where people will have a similar mindset to you. For instance, in a school that is mostly professional types, the thought process is, okay, I'm training because I want to learn this skill, I want to get into shape, and I want to meet some new people. I want to widen my circle of friends. But I have to go to work tomorrow, so I cannot risk getting busted up. On the other hand, you might have a group or school where the average student is under 30 and single and male. Then what's going to happen is you're going to have people who recuperate a lot faster than you, who are probably not necessarily looking to get in shape. They already are in shape. It'll be a different mindset. You know, they'll be more out to smash you. Like I said, like you said, you have to wake up and go to work tomorrow. Maybe they do too, but since they recover so quickly, they can train a lot harder and a lot longer than you can without feeling the effects. You know, especially if you're a physician, a specialist, maybe you're a surgeon, you know, you really have to watch your hands. Same thing with dentists. You know, dentists really need to watch their hands. You know, and granted, a carpenter needs to watch their hands too, because that's how they make their living. You have to look at swinging a hammer versus swinging a hammer, right? It's different. You know, a carpenter who jams his finger is still going to be able to get some work done, right? Whereas a dentist who jams his finger may not be able to get some work done because of the precision with which they need to work. Once you find the demographic that you like, then you have to look into other factors like price, right? A lot of people, they shop with price first, right? I get that all the time. Anybody who asks me right up front, what's the cost of your membership? I'll tell you, but I know that you're probably not going to come to my school. Why? Because price is a factor for you. And if price is a factor for you, then what you're doing is you're shopping based on price alone. And typically, you're a younger person, because younger people have to watch their budgets typically a little tighter than do older people, right? Older people tend to have a little more disposable income because as you work in the workforce, you start to get promotions, you start to be higher up. Being that we're not priced the lowest in our areas in Southern California or in Texas, generally people who are looking for price are not going to come to us. Now, occasionally you do have people who come in, try it out, then they see that, you know, we're not the cheapest among you. They may have gone to another competitor school and seen that the price might have been 40% cheaper, right? And then they have to kind of think, now, do I like the vibe at KAMA or do I like the vibe at the other place, to where the difference in price will make me forego coming to KAMA? And that's fine. You know, everybody has their own decision tree. So what you need to do is, once you find out what the demographic is, the average demographic is of the school that matches you, good. And then I have to take into account other factors. Like I'd mentioned in another video, for me, I need to have a clean school. That's just it. You know, I've trained in dirty schools. I've been a member of dirty schools and been there, done that. I don't like it myself. I run the school the way I like a school to be if I were to go there. And for people who mind that, for people who think about that, they'll come to my school, right? And if that's a factor for them, regardless of price. But if you're 50 years old, keep in mind that you cannot run forever you have to choose your battles. You're not gonna go and train with a young guy every class unless you're either in phenomenal shape or you just have, you know, a hurt wish, and as opposed to a death wish, because, you know, you're not gonna kill yourself, but, you know, you just don't mind being hurt, and, you know, and your job maybe allows you to take days to recuperate. Just like when you go to a gym, you know, as you get older, you start to moderate your workouts. Or you might work out hard, but for fewer days of the week. Or you may want to be at another school that offers more than Jiu-Jitsu, right? If it offers more than Jiu-Jitsu, if what you're looking for offers more than Jiu-Jitsu, then you're gonna look for a school that does that. If you wanna do just straight Jiu-Jitsu, then you're gonna find a school that does straight Jiu-Jitsu. Now, sometimes you may find a gym that offers more, but at the same time offers the Jiu-Jitsu that you like. Just remember that, like with MMA, when you look at business in general, generally the business that is more focused will be the business that more caters to what you may be looking for if you're looking for something as a specialist, right? If you're looking for Jiu-Jitsu and Jiu-Jitsu only, you can go to an MMA school which has Jiu-Jitsu, but they also have to cater to the students who want boxing, wrestling, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever they offer, right? They're gonna have to cater to that, so that some of the resources that could be focused on Jiu-Jitsu are gonna be spread elsewhere, right? So also consider that. At the end of the day, it's gotta be a place that you feel comfortable and you feel safe in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not thinking all the safe space and all that. When I say safe, is that it's not like you feel like you know, by going to Jiu-Jitsu, you're gonna get hurt. You don't want that, right? Because at 50, you're not looking to become a fighter. At 50, you're looking to get in shape, stay in shape, and learn something cool. That's really it. So hopefully this helped you, and if you have any other further questions, just go ahead and comment below. I'll jump on there and I'll answer it there. In the meantime, just take care of yourselves and happy training. Bye-bye now.